Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, Fragrance Fan. And before we get started, go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you know every time I upload some new content. And for those of you who already support my channel, thank you guys so much for helping me with what I do. Because my main goal here is just keep on pumping out these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That 40-ish and under dollar range. The vast majority of these are going to be a lot less than that. And a good number of those you can find in the rack stores. The one I'm talking about today is absolutely no stranger in the fragrance community, and is well known in the rack stores as well. I'm talking about that notorious brand of English laundry. We're talking about Cambridge Night. So, if you're a Florida State Seminoles fan, this thing would go great with your memorabilia, so if you don't even like the way it smells, just set that thing on the shelf, it'd look good up there, right? I like the coloration of the bottle. It is pretty. You can see right through it, see the juice level. Funny story about this thing real quick is I had purchased this like a year ago at a rack store, and I was going around smelling them. I was like, wow, this one smells really good. So let me get the one in the back that nobody's really squirted, so it's got the full amount of juice, right? I get it home, there's no atomizer on that thing, so I had to like use it like one of those aftershave like Old Spice or something like that, and I kind of gave up. It was really hard. So for like a whole year I had been going to the rack stores like waiting for this thing to pop up, and it finally did, and I was probably more excited about it than I should have. But anyhow, off of that note, it's got that standard cheap little plastic cap. The atomizer, how's the spray? Pretty good. So amidst the formula, the reformulation that this thing has gone through, they say it smells real similar to what it did initially. And what you'll get in this is you'll get a lot of aquatic notes. You'll get a lot of grapefruit. There's some wood, a little bit of musk. But there's one thing that really sets it apart from the fragrance that a lot of people compare this to. A lot of people compare it to Invictus Aqua. And it really does share a lot of their similarities. This is a complement type of DNA. But it's got black currant in it, which can be real off-putting to some people. Very mature smell. It's kind of animalic. It's sharp, it's tart, it's sour. It's so just be mindful of that. That's the only thing that, like, if this thing was boxed up, would make this kind of an unsafe blind buy, but 9 out of 10 people are really going to enjoy this thing. It is a super versatile fragrance. It might not pierce through the coldest of days, but pretty much throughout the year, summer, spring, fall, this thing will work. Dress it up, dress it down. I wore this thing all day today. Out of the shower. If I went to the gym, I would have wore it to the gym. I wore it to rehearsal. I wore it to work. It's just a pleasing aroma, and I was so glad to find this thing with the atomizer. So the performance on this one isn't all that good. Apparently this thing used to be kind of a beast. Now it's more like a 4 or 5 hour, rather, as before it was like an 8+ hour. You don't get that with this at all. I was spraying myself pretty decent, and I couldn't really squeeze more than 4.5 hours out of it. But through that time that I was smelling myself, I was enjoying every single second of it. So I still give this thing a 7 out of 10. Just because, even though it doesn't perform well, I enjoy the way this smells just that much. And I'm not off-put by that black currant. I like the fact that they were bold enough to add that in there, not just make this a straight-up clone of an Invictus Aqua or something like that. It does its own thing. It has that mature, spiky, sour note in there, and I really enjoy that. It sets it apart a little bit. Wish the performance was dialed up a little bit more on this thing. I believe it's an Eau de Toilette concentration, but for $12.99, you can't go wrong with that price, because this thing is just so nice smelling and so versatile, so mass pleasing. You'll probably get some compliments if you wear this thing, especially after like the first 45 minutes, because after that it dies down pretty good. But so it stays about the same throughout the life of it. The black currant kind of pokes its head out a little bit more in the dry down than it does initially, because the citrus wears off, but overall it stays 90% the same through the whole 3 to 4 hours you get out of this thing. But that's my final thoughts on English Laundry's Cambridge Night. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always. And until next time.